Stand by, y'all. We're going to get started in just a minute. And apologies for getting started late. Just a minute. Eli did not want to go down easy tonight. Just getting this shared out on social media. Making sure everything is looking good from behind the scenes. All right. Welcome to some late night weather chat. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. It is Saturday, November 8th, 11 o'clock East Coast time. Let us know in the chat where you are joining from and what you are hoping to see weather-wise across Kentucky, because flakes are heading our way tomorrow. Not very often do I have to do a snow chat in November. Yeah, it has been a while. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Having to dust the old cobwebs off. All right, Christine Campbell joining us from Hazard. All right. Hey, Ethel, joining us from Perry County. Okay, so we've got a lot of weather to talk about, friends. Crystal's like a dusting if that, yeah. We got a lot that we got to process with this storm. I do not think most of the region will see accumulation. Some spots may see a little bit, but it's the first snow of the season. Everybody gets worked up about it. So let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. All right. So right now, you can see we've got a very strong area of low pressure building off to our northwest, back up towards Chicago. And I'm switching the radar over to winter weather mode. Yes, we need that now because, yeah, there is full on snow going up in Davenport, Iowa right now. There are winter storm watches up around the greater Chicago area. You've got freeze warnings all across the deep south. A truly historic cold snap potentially heading our way. Honestly, I think the cold may be the bigger story than even the snow from this system. And oh yeah, let's throw in the potential of a little bit of winter weather and severe weather. So yeah, there's a lot to this. We got a lot to digest and break down tonight. I hope y'all are buckled in. If you have questions, feel free to comment in the chat. Let me know, and we'll talk about them. So this storm system pushes through the Ohio Valley tonight and during the day on Sunday. In fact, as that low pressure kind of comes eastward, heads towards Cincinnati, there's going to be enough spin in the atmosphere that we may actually have some severe weather up in northern Kentucky overnight tonight and early on Sunday. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has Cincinnati, Louisville, and Lexington under a marginal risk of severe weather tonight. Crazy to believe we are going from the potential of severe weather into winter weather. Yeah. So yeah, marginal risk for Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati. That just means isolated severe thunderstorms are possible tonight. Some of those could have some gusty winds, a little bit of lightning. The hail threat, non-existent tonight. The tornado threat, non-existent tonight. It is strictly wind and thunderstorms, which we're worried about tonight in northern Kentucky. So if you're in Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, just make sure to have those weather radios turned on tonight. Have a way to get those warnings. Now, Tomorrow is where things get messy, interesting. Use the adjective of your choice here. There's a lot that's going to be going on. Our high temperatures tomorrow are likely going to be early in the morning, like 5, 6 o'clock. You see, I've got the day planner forecast below me right now. We're going from the 50s around 7 o'clock into the 40s and the 30s by tomorrow evening. So that temperature is going to drop like a rock tomorrow. So here is the future radar from the HRRR model. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll notice those thunderstorms approaching Louisville, E-Town, Bowling Green. By 5 o'clock, they're approaching the I-75 corridor. Lexington, 6 o'clock, you're in the thick of the thunderstorms, knocking on Moorhead's door. Richmond, Berea, Mount Vernon, Somerset, Monticello, you guys are seeing thunderstorms. May have a rumble of thunder or two wake you up before church services tomorrow morning. And then that line pushes on out. A few spotty showers possible behind the first line. And then the cold air just starts cranking in. You'll notice the 540 line, that blue dotted line, that's effectively the freezing line at higher levels in the atmosphere, is on top of us by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the cold air actually comes in overhead first and eventually works its way down to the surface. So by 4 or 5 o'clock, we are likely seeing either rain or a wintry mix across central and eastern Kentucky as that area of low pressure wraps up and that colder air just comes swinging in from the northwest. We are talking just brutal cold air coming in at all levels of the atmosphere and eventually working its way from the top down. But yeah, it is just going to work its way northwest to southeast during the day tomorrow. By tomorrow night, we should transition over to all snow. It's going to get cold enough at the surface. We're going to see snow showers continue off and on all night, Sunday night into Monday morning. And you'll notice a couple of darker blues showing up. That's the potential of at least a couple of snow squalls Monday morning as that upper level low kicks in. Yeah, notice real dark blue showing up. That's some pretty heavy snowfall rates showing up on the HRRR model during the day on Monday. Now, the HRRR only goes through 6 o'clock Monday right now. Now, I'm going to pop this up. This is strictly for your information. This is not my forecast. This is if every flake of snow did not melt, this is what the HRRR model is seeing for snowfall potential through 7 o'clock East Coast time on Monday. Once again, this is not my forecast. But I wanted to put this out there to show that it could be snowing heavy at times on Monday. Now, for everybody that's saying we ain't going to see any accumulation, you're probably right, because we got a really warm ground. We're going to have to cool off. That's until 6 p.m. So that's through snow through 6 p.m. on Monday. We'll go back to that in just a second. This is the current soil temperature at 2 inches from our friends over at the Kentucky Mesonet. By the way, pretty excited about something coming soon from the Mesonet. Stay tuned for some big announcements heading our way on that I'm pretty excited about. But right now, soil temperature across most of Kentucky into the mid-50s. So we've got to cool that ground off quite a bit. So even though the HRRR model, which I tend to trust a lot in these kind of scenarios, is spitting out some pretty serious accumulation by November standards, 2 to 3, 4 inches in portions of Pulaski, Knox County, Whitley County. 5 inches near Middlesboro. Yeah, I'm not buying that one. I'm sure Brandon Marcy's watching that. He's like, no way. I agree, Brandon. But if everything was to not melt, that's what we could theoretically see. So the question becomes, how much does it take to cool the ground off? And then what sticks on top of that? That is the big question. Now let's kind of go a little further into the future. We're going to take a look at a couple of the other models. This is the North American Mesoscale model. This one tends to do okay in these kind of setups. Showing snow breaking out pretty earnestly Monday morning. Then as that upper level low rolls in, we see a heavier band push through and maybe even a few flurries lingering into Tuesday morning. European model, that's old reliable for me. Thunderstorms overnight, scattered rain tomorrow, afternoon and evening. Here comes the wintry mix, changing over to all snow. Snow showers Monday. Maybe a few flurries lingering into Tuesday. Here is a bunch of the other models besides the HRRR. European model showing about an inch for London, half inch for Somerset, inch for Corbin, 2 to 3 inches up on Black and Pine Mountain. Once again, this does not take melting into effect or into account. GFS model, a little bit more in the higher elevations, maybe even 2 inches Pikeville, 2 inches, 3 inches Moorhead. The Icon model kind of backs off. That's the German model. It's showing a half inch to an inch from London to Manchester. That little pocket around Black Mountain. The NAM has a little bit of a wider swath of snow thanks to that upper level low. 3 to 4 inches up on Black Mountain. The high-res NAM said, how about 8 inches, 12 inches on Black Mountain? Don't know that we'll go quite that much, but it's certainly interesting to see. Trying to spit out 2 inches in London. I'm telling you now, friends, London will not have 2 inches of snow Tuesday morning unless this thing just cranks something horrendous. Now, the new RRFS model, this is one of the newer models, not nearly as aggressive. This actually looks like a pretty reasonable scenario for me, taking melting into account. 1 to 2 inches in the higher elevations, 3 to 4 up on the top of Black Mountain, maybe an inch along the Kentucky-Virginia border counties. I could see this being a very reasonable, very likely outcome. The UK model, the British model, kind of in line with the NAM. So the models are they're all over the place in the sense that Central Kentucky, they're differing quite a bit. The one common thread tends to be Black Mountain and Pine Mountain just getting absolutely slammed with 3 to 4 inches of snow. That seems absolutely within the realm of possibility. By the time you take melting into account, I could totally see top of Black Mountain, Pine Mountain getting 2-3 inches out of this, no problem. My problem with most of the modeling it right now is, how does this end up playing out in the lower elevations? So this is my forecast. Here is my forecast based on my interpretation of the data, trying to take the melting into account, trying to use my experience and my knowledge of how the weather typically behaves around here to give you the best forecast I can. So, from I-65 eastward, I'd say there's a pretty good shot most of the folks east of I-65 are at least going to see flakes flying. Now, flakes on the ground in any kind of significant accumulation, more than just a slushy coating on some of the rooftops and elevated surfaces, probably not. Where could this forecast go wrong? Lexington, Moorhead, northeastern Kentucky. If this forecast is going to bust anywhere right now, it's going to be central and northeastern Kentucky. It's just going to depend on how heavy that snow band is when it sets up shop on Monday, and can we get some heavy snow after dark Monday night? If we can get some heavy snow after dark Monday night, this forecast could bust in central Kentucky, and we could actually put a little light accumulation on the ground. Not much. I don't think we'll see more than an inch, but I'm thinking the most likely scenario, Lexington, Moorhead, Danville, E-Town, Bowling Green, Somerset, no meaningful accumulation. Maybe a coating. That's about it. That's my best forecast right now. This could change. Where the forecast I think is the trickiest is London up to Beattyville, over towards Jackson, up towards West Liberty, over towards Salyersville, up into Mount Olive. Manchester, you're included in that. Barberville, you're included in that. Middlesboro, you're included in that. Can we get a slushy coating to an inch out of this storm? It is certainly possible. It's going to depend on how heavy those snow bands kick in Monday night. Do we have an inch of snow on the ground Monday morning when you wake up? Absolutely not. Don't think that's going to happen. This is through Tuesday. So, you wake up Monday and there's no snow on the ground, don't DM me and say, ha ha, your forecast sucked. Nope. At least give it through Tuesday. If I miss it at that point, feel free to roast me. Wouldn't be the first time I messed up a forecast, but this is the best I can do as of right now. So the areas in the dark green, that kind of teal color, that dark teal, London, Manchester, Jackson, Beattyville, West Liberty, there is at least the potential of some light accumulation Monday night into Tuesday morning. I don't think we'll see much. This storm may overperform a little bit, but we've still got a lot of ground to cool down to make that happen. Can it happen? Yes. Will it happen? That's the question. We get farther into far eastern Kentucky and southeastern Kentucky. Places like Harlan, Hazard, Hindman, over towards Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Paintsville, Salyersville, up into Louisa, all the way up over into Martin County. Up to an inch seems like it's a pretty good possibility. Do we get a little bit more than that? Maybe, but I doubt it. But a coating to an inch seems very plausible in those locations. Once again, taking into account we've got a warm ground. We got to cool off a lot before this starts sticking. So even though we may drop 2, 3, 4 inches of snow from the sky, we got to get that ground cooled off. My wife is asking, is there a statistic for first snows of the season having accumulation? I do not know. I'm going to have to do some research on that one, dear. I can tell you just anecdotally, historically, most first snows of the season don't perform very well as far as accumulation. So that's why I'm going conservative right now. Now, down in the purple, Dorton, over to Whitesburg, over to Cumberland. Higher elevations of Pike County, Letcher County, Harlan County. 1 to 3 inches, pretty good possibility. And even up on Black and Pine Mountain, you could go a little higher than that. It would not surprise me at the top of Black Mountain gets 4 or 5 inches from this system. But just taking in, once again, warm ground. It's going to take a while to cool that off. Yeah, the snow may be heavy. We'll have to see how heavy it is. I think 1 to 3 inches is a safe bet in the highest of elevations. You get down into Harlan proper, I don't think y'all are going to have more than an inch. Down in town at Whitesburg, probably an inch. But the higher elevations above town may get a couple inches. Had a couple of folks ask about the road between Cumberland and Hazard Tuesday morning. Probably going to be a little bit slick. 119 over Pine Mountain might be a little bit slick. 23 and 119 through Letcher County up into Pike County could be a little slick, especially up around the Virginia border. Tuesday morning. So if you're traveling Letcher County, Pike County, just be on the lookout. That could get a little dicey up in the higher elevations. And you folks, y'all that live up there, you know it's a different world up there. So just giving you the heads up, the first alert, that spot is probably going to be the bullseye. If anywhere in the state is going to have snow on the ground Tuesday morning, it's going to be in Letcher, Pike, or Harlan counties. So that is my best forecast as of right now. Now, obviously, we've still got a bit of time before this kicks in earnest. We still got more data to look at. We're still going to have more of the high-res models come online early tomorrow morning. I'll have another update tomorrow evening. Maybe do another live stream, hopefully a little bit earlier. Eli did not want to go to bed tonight. That little guy was wound up. But I promise, regardless of the time, I will make some time tomorrow to do another video to give you guys a heads up. But this is the best forecast I can put together right now. My biggest question mark, once again, are the counties highlighted in green. Laurel County, Knox County, Whitley County, Clay County, Rockcastle County, or excuse me, that's Jackson County, Breathitt County, Lee and Owsley counties, Morgan County. Those are the spots that this is going to be really questionable. Do we get enough snow at the right time to cool things off enough to actually get it to stick? I don't think a lot of this is going to stick to the roads. Now, bridges and overpasses Tuesday morning could get a little dicey. We'll have to wait and see. This is not going to be a big shut her all down event. I'll go ahead and tell you, if that's what you're looking for, this is not what this is. But a few treacherous spots Tuesday morning, not out of the realm of possibility. So we are going to have to kind of wait and see. But this is my best forecast as of now. Do we have any questions from the chat? We are coming up on 11:23 right now. Once again, if you're just joining us, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith, based out of London, Kentucky. And you're joining us live on Facebook and YouTube as we talk about snow heading our way here into the Bluegrass state. Once again, just to recap how this all should play out. We get a few thunderstorms overnight tonight. Some of these up around Lexington could be on the severe side. So just watch out for that. This is 5 a.m. East Coast time, 4 a.m. Central. You'll notice a broken line of thunderstorms from just west of Cincinnati, down through Frankfort, down towards Campbellsville. That pushes eastward. Then the cold air rushes in. Temperatures are going to drop like a rock. It is going to be warmer tomorrow morning than it is tomorrow afternoon. And then that rain changes over to snow tomorrow night. I think by 10, 11 o'clock, we're all over to snow at that point. And I think the heaviest of the snow is going to fall during the day on Monday as that area of low pressure spins on top of us. So we could have some pretty good snow squalls Monday afternoon. And then if we're going to see accumulation, this is when it's going to happen. 6 o'clock East Coast time, 5 o'clock Central, where those heavier bands set up and the sun sets. That's going to be the spots that have the best chance of putting accumulation down on the ground. So Ethel should start out as rain tomorrow afternoon, transitioning to a wintry mix tomorrow evening, and then probably after about 8, 9 o'clock, it'll be all snow. Ethel asking for Eli to give the forecast, give us warmer weather. He's a snowhound, maybe even more than I am. Braden Richard asking about Adair County. Right now, let's see how good old Adair County is looking. I believe I have you guys in the snow possible, but don't count on accumulation. Yep, over towards Columbia, just west of Pulaski County. Yeah. So, see, I don't have a marker, but you guys, 2 counties over from London, so right there. Probably going to see snow, Braden. Not going to see accumulation from this. It would take a lot for this thing to put down accumulation over in Adair County. That is just not looking in the cards right now. I think you guys probably see some snowflakes flying. Although, to give you a little hope, the HRRR is trying to put down a little accumulation there. But it is one of the only models doing that. Euro saying maybe a ½ inch to an inch. GFS saying about a ½ inch. The NAM models, kind of ½ inch to an inch. Some of the others not going very aggressive. So, Braden, I would say chances are against accumulation right now. But we shall see. Little to no accumulation is the official forecast. And this will be updated tomorrow, guys, as more information comes in. This is a first call, and this is a very tricky setup. If we had frozen ground right now and we had been cold for 2 weeks before this, I would probably be a little more aggressive in my snow forecast than I am right now. With this being the first snow of the season, it was almost 70 today in some spots, friends. That ground is warm, mid-50s. We got a lot of cooling to do before we get any kind of frozen precipitation to stick earnestly, especially to the roads. All right. Oh no, my clock froze. Any other questions? Well, folks, it is getting late. We are coming up on 11:30, so I'm going to wrap this one up. I will probably have a quick update in the morning with either a quick video or some pictures up on my Facebook page or Instagram. So be sure to follow me over on Facebook, Meteorologist Shane Smith. And I will have another video or live stream tomorrow evening to let you guys know what the latest is and give you a kind of a final call on the forecast. So once again, I don't think this is going to be a big one. I don't think if this was anything besides the first flakes of the season, we'd be talking about it as much. But since this is the first potential snow, I know folks are going to be a little excited, giddy. I know I'm a little excited. I'm a snowhound. Give me that first good one or two of the year, and then I'll cool my jets. But Yeah, we are certainly going to see some snow Sunday, tomorrow night into Monday. The question is how much and how much of it sticks. I think higher elevations, yeah, this one's going to be your first actual accumulator of the year. The question is how many of the rest of us see accumulation, and that's the hard part to figure out. So until next time, friends, be sure to take care and stay weather aware. I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed our live stream tonight, please hit that like or subscribe button. Turn on notifications on the platform of your choice. And be sure to share the stream. If you're watching after the fact, share it out. Hit those like buttons. It sure helps when folks get out and see this. Makes it a little easier to get that information out there. So that is all for now. I'll have another update coming up tomorrow.